Hi, I'm Andrew from Berrima Diesel, and yep, we're a 3-generation diesel business in the sunny little Berrima, just not that far from here. I think it was about an hour and 15 on Google when we put it in to get down to the club meeting tonight. Starting off here with German Orpa Reinhardt. You could say his dad Andrew, and of course we've got one of the grandsons Baden. The other one's gallivanting around overseas at the moment on I guess the first anniversary from their honeymoon. Both of them got married at different times last year. So yes, we're a very family orientated business, no doubt about it, and we've been doing it in Berrima for a really long time. Diesel information is pretty general. You know, diesels haven't changed for a pretty long time, but they've probably changed a fair bit in the last 20 years. So, you know, back in the 80s, 90s and 2000s, not much happened, even I guess 1950, 1960, 1970. It was all pretty much the same, but once electronics came in at around sort of late 90s, we may as well say 2000, that changed the playing field and probably got a little bit more complex. And I think that there's two sides to the story as to the equipment and some of the accessories you might need on your old school diesel versus your new school diesel. So when we're finished later on, come over to the table there and we'll be happy to I guess, you know, answer any extra questions that you guys have. Let's just a little bit of a summary on some of the tuning stuff. I sound a bit muffled there, actually. I'm going to have to look into that. But tuning diesels, that's what we do. Well, I'm sorry, we're an inclusive business. We accept anybody in as customers, but we just don't do anything on petrol vehicles. Sorry about that, guys and girls, but it's diesel only in our workshop. And our family, we'll have to see where that goes in future generations. But we think diesels, we're still doing, or this gentleman here is doing a turbo every second day on 80 series Landcruisers. He's doing a 2H Landcruiser at the moment, a turbo install, which is a 1980s vehicle. And they're still coming in, still today, 4 turbochargers on a non-turbo vehicle that never had a turbo in its whole life. So we think that diesels are going to be around well after the change in technology's come about. Let's see where it stands. We've all got our views on it. We won't get a hot-headed night of discussion going on EVs and diesels, but we know we're going to be in business for a long time. But back to the tuning, I mean, there's a big difference between tuning petrols or working on petrols and tuning diesels or working on diesels. Diesel oil changes need to be regular because, you know, soot goes into the oil, and like the ladies here, well, the gents also, they know how to make a damper, but the ones that are making a cake mix would remember if you keep adding too much flour, it gets thicker and thicker and thicker. So the same with oil. The longer it stays in a diesel, the more soot goes into the oil, the thicker it gets. So diesels need regular maintenance, regular oil changes. As I said, in the tuning scene there with horsepower and torque, diesel tuning is all about torque, so we push that whenever we're doing our social media posts on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, wherever it is. We show torque graphs, and they might show really big numbers because that's at the rubber on the dyno, that's not at the engine, so the numbers will be always higher. But we're showing torque, and torque's the pulling power and the ability of your vehicle to pull a load up a long hill, whether that be off-road or on-road. Whereas kilowatts and horsepower like petrol cars is all about the spinning of the wheels. And of course, high horsepower motors or motorbikes, you look at a dyno graph, it goes right up to the end, right near red line, and it shuts off. So all the kilowatts are right up in the top end. That's not where we drive our 200 series. We don't rev our Landcruiser 60 or our 200s at 4,000 revs up the hill. Maybe in a bog hole we might be trying to do it to get out of it, but when we're towing, etc. on the road, it's all about that sort of 2,000 revs, 1,800, 2,400 revs torque. So when we're tuning diesels, it's all about torque. Very special way of tuning them. Quite simple, but you've just got to get that right. So again, we're experts in that field. We've been doing it for a long time, and we've seen a lot of you through our shop. Some familiar faces here tonight, and I'm sure some out there that are watching as well online. You're welcome to call in any time you're heading down to that lovely block of land you guys have south of us, and when the weather clears up. It's a bit boggy at the moment, but to pop in and say g'day whenever you get a chance. All right, thanks everybody. We'll go for some questions later on over in the corner. Thank you.